We're in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee for the Fly Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith.
So I'm Daniel Blair. This is Dave Arnold. We got Erica Allred coming at you in just a second. And Dave, the atmosphere is awesome, backed up against downtown Nashville, but for me the intrigue is the format and the course itself. What's caught your eye so far in qualifying?
Well, definitely it is the newest style of racing that we've seen with the slalom and drag racing combined. What's caught my eye is this course is going to make you have to be smooth. You can't hit any buoys. You're going to be DQ'd. You're out. You don't move on. You go home. You're on the sidelines watching everybody else. So key is don't hit the buoys, be smooth, and that's going to bring you all the way to the finish and hopefully a championship here for the first ever slalom drags.
Now we have two classes. We got the Pro-Am and the Juniors. Let's talk Pro-Am. Revan Harris was the fastest out of the gate. He was the first to hit the course, set the standard, set the time. Everyone chipped away at it. No one caught it. What do they got to do to catch Revan Harris?
Well, if you watched like Revan like I did, he is so smooth. I mean, the kid's been riding for 8 years, consistently. He started back when he was 10 years old, so now he's got up to the age of 17 and, almost 18 years old. So he's got a little experience, but being smooth is the key out there. Not hitting the buoys, that's going to keep you going forward. And these juniors should really keep an eye on them. I mean, these juniors are used to bashing buoys, as we call in closed course racing. You can hit the buoys, but in slalom drags, you can't.
That's right. All right, before we go racing, let's catch up with Erica with more on the event itself.
The Pro Watercross Slalom Drags features a never-seen-before style course, brand new rules, and high stakes as racers go head-to-head for that overall. Various riders have expressed that their biggest concerns are making sure that they do not hit a buoy, the unpredictable current, and simply nailing that new launch pad start. Whichever racer can conquer all three will take that overall win.
Thank you, Erica. Before we go racing, let's take a look at the industrial machine and tool race format. 16 racers per class. We're going to have 8 head-to-head races. The fastest time is going to win the event. And hey, you want to go fast, but you don't want to get disqualified by jumping the red light or hitting one of the buoys. The SSI decal course preview, we're going to go on board with the number 220 of Ryan Stevens. Take a look at the course they'll be racing on today.
Well, we're going to take a look at Ryan Stevens riding that old trusty 800 SXR two-stroke. And you can see that GP1 ski on the outside. But we're going to take Ryan with a quick left into a right. You're going to serpentine your way back and forth through the course around each buoy. Now, Daniel just pointed out, you can't hit a buoy, otherwise you get DQ'd. That's why you can say he's close. Took a wide berth on that one. And you want to be very careful. Now it comes down to getting set up for this last buoy to get around the turnaround. You can see he's going to go out really wide. And this is where he's going to keep the hammer down, Daniel. And you can see he's going to hit that white buoy. He's going to bring a 180, and then he's going to let it fly. He's going to hit that trigger and drag race all the way until that finish line hits.
Yeah, he opens it up right there all the way to the finish line, and that is the course they'll be racing on today in Nashville. Again, head-to-head racing, so you got to focus on your own race, but you're going to have a tendency to look over and see what the competition is doing as well, because he's right next door.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that one. And we're going to take a look at some of the skis that will be competing here on the water.
And unfortunately, we have an athlete who will not be competing, and she is with Erica.
We are here with the 210 of Karis Webster. Now, unfortunately, Karis is not racing this weekend in Nashville as she broke her foot in a jet ski accident, but she's still going to give us a tour of this junior 10 to 15 ski. Now, Karis, this weekend in Nashville, the junior 10 to 15 class is only allowed to race a 2-stroke. What is the main difference between that of a 4-stroke, and how do you think it's going to handle this weekend?
Well, the main difference between a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke is the way it handles and the power. I mean, a lot of people just love their 2-strokes just to go mess around on, and racing 2-strokes together is, I believe, is the most fun out of everything. But also, the 4-strokes are definitely a lot more competitive skis, and they really plow through the water, and which makes them a lot more competitive.
Dave, are you going the competitive route, or are you going the 2-stroke, the fun route?
Hey, man, I'm always a 2-stroke guy at heart there, but I'll tell you, those 4-strokes definitely plow through the water a little bit heavier. It's kind of like driving a tractor like a dirt bike out there, 250 versus the 450, and I know you can identify with that.
That I can, and Dave, at this point in my life, I'm just trying to have a good time. So I'm probably choosing two-stroke. Gary Holbein Jr. is up first now. You see on the other side, that is not one of his competitors. He will race this race alone. So no one to compete against except himself. It's all about that fast time, being number one, being the quickest. Tell me a little bit about Gary.
Well, Gary's, been running for about 4 years now, and he's he's worked his way up. He's gotten a third in the national tour in Pro Watercross, got a second, finally came out a national tour champion in 2021, and it's great to see this young man. You can see him really standing up, though, and he's not liking the time. He's having problems. I'm not liking that, but they're telling him to go for it. He wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue, but hey, if it's running, you got to try to finish this thing out. You never know if the competitor's going to hit a buoy, make a mistake. You can still be in this thing, but you had a chance to talk to Gary yesterday, carried himself really well, and like you said, only 4 years of racing, so I have to imagine the sky's the limit with this one.
Yeah, he's got a world title in his belt already, too, so it's very impressive, this young man. But to see these young kids come up, and I know you worked with a lot of kids on the motocross side, now we get to see it on the watercross side, and I think that's very cool.
Yeah, and a cool event for him here, too, to be able to see the Pro-Am guys and the way they approach this, because he's just going to stack that knowledge and use it to his advantage as he gets older. 54.6 is the time for Gary Holbein Jr. He sets the pace, but seems to be a little frustrated over something right now. Probably not happy with the run all the way.
Yeah, and I could definitely see it when he was standing up, and then all of a sudden he points down like there was something wrong with his boat. I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll find out later. But now we're going to look at some head-to-head competition there. You can see a Kawasaki 800 on the right, and there's a Yamaha on the left-hand side. Now these are both two-strokes.
You have the Performance Excavating yellow lane, the Ronnie Prado Company red lane, Jax Rowe versus Abby Weldon in a one-on-one duel. Remember, the fastest time out of everyone is going to win the event, but now there's a competitor next to you. It's going to raise the intensity a little bit, and of course you're focused on your own racing, but it's hard not to look over and know that someone's over there. Where are they at? Are they ahead of me, behind me? It could drive you.
Well, let's talk about Jax. They're a local out of Tennessee right now, as he's looking down, been riding for a couple of years now, and I know he's second on the Pro Watercross. Oh, looks like a little bit of late delay on the leave. Abby's not sure what happened. In goes Jax. And, oh no, Jax, he went the wrong way and the buoy's lost.
Yeah.
Abby seems to have this one here, though, Daniel.
She moved on. I think he's confused over the jump on the start, and we're getting word that no issue with the start, but might have an issue with the course, though, because he definitely did not make that first corner. He may be in trouble here.
Yeah, it looks like Abby went a little bit along the way, but she did go the right side of the buoy, so she might be okay if she can keep it. She's a little lost, but Jax, he thinks he's got it now, but unfortunately, he missed that buoy. I've seen a DQ in his future.
Yeah, that's a good possibility of it. Now, I like that he's just going to try to race forward and take care of this run, but at the end of the day, when he gets to that finish, he may get the bad news that he is DQ'd from this one. Abby might be cruising on to a win in this round. We'll see what her time is overall, but I like him closing out strong there. Finish your race, but I think this is going to end up being pretty bad for Jax.
Yeah, I agree for sure on that, and I'm looking at it right now. He kind of knows something's going on. But you're right, you got to finish it out. You never know what's going to happen. She could hit a buoy. He didn't know, even if it got, a little bit out of sorts, but if you miss a buoy or hit a buoy, you're DQ'd, so pretty much you're done. But
oh, there it is.
Yeah,
got him on the DQ. So Weldon's going to move on from the yellow lane. And for Rowe, although he finished strong, those issues early are going to cost him. He is out of this one. Still an impressive ride. He looked good on the course, but no win today for Jax. We'll be right back with more. Fly Racing Slalom Drags is brought to you by Java Peace Coffee. Find your harmony at javapeace.com. And Huracan R, World Championship winning Sport GP race watercraft, Hydro Turf, and of course, by Team Faith Ministries.
Meet the Trowbridges. Yeah, they ride. Mom, Dad, and their 2 boys. It's what makes dirt bikes unique. One of the few sports that the entire family can participate in, together. An all-inclusive family affair with the ability to create memories that last a lifetime. Living their fearless pursuit.
Java Peace. Find your coffee harmony at javapeace.com.
It's the Fly Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith. We're in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's go down to Erica Allreed with more on one of the young racers we'll see today.
I was able to catch up with junior 10 to 15 rider Ty Smith, and despite all of his success in his junior career thus far, he said a win here in Nashville would be the most significant and meaningful to him. He said that because this is an invite-only event and the best of the best riders are here competing against him. He also said this is the very first slalom drag, so to walk away here a champion would be the best.
And we will see Ty Smith right here going up against Madison Elders in the Ronnie Prado Company red lane. And of course, the performance excavating yellow lane will be Ty Smith. This is going to be a good fight. Ty's a very young, talented rider, but the resume is starting to build.
Yeah, I tell you, he's got a little attitude. He's got a little mohawk underneath that helmet right there. And man, that kid's got some attitude from Lake Havasu, the PWC capital of the world. And it comes, you know, every year they have a big World Finals jet ski race, which is really cool. And I know he is a 10 to 12 stock world champion last year there. So he's got a lot of pressure on his back. He's got the invitation. And there they go. The green light flashes.
Here's Madison. A lot of pressure in this event, a lot of eyes on. Everybody's watching, family and friends. You got to think about the pressure that leads into this race too. I mean, all week long you're thinking about it, you're dreaming about it. And for these young athletes, that's just a lot to take in.
Oh, especially when you have to drive all the way across country. You're going to Nashville. It's the Music City Grand Prix. You got Indy cars racing, the Robbie Gordon SSGs. So much going on here. Man, talk about pressure is right.
Yeah, a lot of hype in the environment. I mean, there's a lot of people in town. There's a lot of energy, and he took advantage of that opportunity. He's going to pull this thing to the finish.
And talk about Pitt finishing out strong. Ty is going to get tucked. He's going to pull and clamp that throttle and make it across first. Unfortunately, Madison had a little bit of a problem where she was bouncing a little bit, left her back there, and you can see that ski having a little bit of hookups issues there, and that's what slowed her down just a little bit.
Yeah, Ty had that advantage early, carried all the way to the finish line. We talked about how much this would mean to him to get the win. That 44.7, great run for Ty Smith. He's fired up. He's showing the emotions. He's happy.
He's got the fist pumped down. He says, I got a world title, and I'm going to back it up with a win here at the slalom drags.
Here's some of the mistakes that you talked about by Elders. Just a little bit of an issue there in those tight corners. Cost some time early.
Yeah, she went down. You can see it subbed it there. And the ski seems to be bouncing a little bit there. Maybe it's, you know, the way the ride plate shift or the scoop brake, choice there probably wasn't correct.
All right, so Ty, good run, gets the wins. We got Parker Kaiser versus Trayton Smith. Another one-on-one battle. Trayton Smith out of Tennessee, also local.
It's so great to see the locals turn out and supporting this event in their backyard, the Pro Watercross Tour, working on that. You see Parker Kaiser on the right-hand side. Seen that young man ride at Body Beach quite a few times out in Lake Havasu City, where he's a local out, rides with a lot of these kids. And another kid that seemed like he's ready to get this one on. You can see the elbows up. I mean, you're seeing that in motocross, elbows up, right?
Well, and he's serious. He just told our camera guy, hey, get out of the way. I need to see that light. I need to get this whole shot. And does he get it? I think he's got it. I think he's got it. First one of the buoy. Yep, he gets the whole shot.
And Parker's going to go ahead and make smooth moves right through here. We're going to take a look here. See Parker right there, a great stance. Talked about elbows up, so important like in motocross with the jet skis, keeping your wide elbows and getting your center of gravity in the middle, but using those like kind of like balancing for.
Yeah, it's a good way to use your weight, right? You set up, you can tuck the inside elbow, keep the outside elbow up. And today in qualifying, you told me the balance that these athletes have to find. They need to be aggressive, but they got to be patient too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the things, keeping the boat flat so it's hooked up, but also turning it over and getting that angle right. And you can see a great run on his Yamaha Superjet there as Parker. Deep tucked into that tray, getting low, getting aerodynamic.
Yeah, that was a good run. Let's see if it's fast enough to beat the 44.7 of Ty Smith. We saw that around a race ago. Does he have it? 44.2, so he does beat it by about a half a second. Kaiser has now set a new bar for the rest of the competitors. And that was a clean run from start to finish.
And you can see definitely how low tucked he is in this section here on the drag race, trying to get aerodynamic. So not only is reaction time, getting off the line, getting that whole shot was important, well, getting tucked and low to get that top speed.
Now, when you talk about reaction time, take us through this light sequence because they got to be exact. You don't want to be late, but you better not be early.
Oh, definitely. You got to be right on time. It's just like drag racing. We're going to see the Christmas tree start to drop down through. When it hits green, you're going to hit that. You can't red light. You leave early, you're DQ'd, you red lighted, you're out of the competition. We saw Weston Berry over on the left-hand side. We can see Tegan Hill now out of North Carolina. Weston Berry out of Long Beach, California. Him making a long trip. I know North Carolina, a little bit closer to Tennessee than Cali.
Yeah, not too bad of a drive. Probably 6 or 7 hours to get over here. And the Cali drive, that's a long way out in Tennessee, which makes this race that much more important. It looks like Hill with the good jump, and it's going to have it by just about a foot. This one's tight.
Yeah, it's going to be real tight there. You can see just a couple of, I'm going to say hundredths of a second, if not thousands separating right now. You can see him hitting that buoy on the yellow just a little bit quicker. And Weston trying to make a good run, trying to make it up. Weston looking very smooth.
Yeah, those last 2 corners were perfectly executed too. Can he make up the time? Because it's no question he had lost about a quarter second, but this is good. Here we go. Let's drag this out.
Oh, look at this. They both made that turn almost identical at the same time. Tegan Hill making a run. Weston down low in the tray, trying to get it aerodynamic, trying to push it all the way.
And a strong close, but not enough. Hill is going to grab the win with a 44.7, still half a second off of Parker Kaiser's time, so he's still going to lead the way and set that standard. But there is more racing to come. Good run by Berry and Hill. But we got Maddox Haynes coming up still. He's a late entry to this event. Fired up and ready to go. Coming up next, but before we get to that race, we sit down with Maddox Haynes.
So this 10 to 15 class, it's different because I'm usually racing against my 13-15, but this time I'm racing against the old class I used to race against too. So I'm racing against 10 to 12-year-olds and also my regular class, the 13-15. I'm excited to race all my friends, and I'm just excited, like the point, I never raced one of these before, and it looks super cool. As soon as I got that call, I was like, oh my God, let's go. And I was like, this is so exciting for me. So my brother and I, we both are really good training together because we go like, I let him go in front of me and then we pass each other and we just go back and forth and back and forth. So then that gives us good training time. I want my future to go really far. I really want it to get like all the way up to GP Pro class and all of that.
And when we return, we will see Maddox Haynes. He's going up against Caden Schilling. Don't go anywhere. More racing to come.
My passion for watercraft racing came in 1994 when the Holy Spirit got a hold of my heart. And we've pretty much been involved ever since. And over the years, we've ministered on X Games and Dew Tour, Supercross, Arena Cross, GNCC racing, freestyle motocross. And we've won races and championships even in some of those sports and have course, accomplished a lot of goals and received a lot of accolades. But for us, ultimately, it's about Jesus. We just want to show the love of Jesus in a tangible way with no strings attached. To keep up with Team Faith, be sure and like us on Facebook, follow us on our Instagram page, and like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
We're in Nashville, Tennessee for the Fly Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith. Maddox Haynes is coming up next versus Caden Schilling. This is going to be a good one. The bar has been set as we look at the jet trim standings. Look at the battle in the 44s, but it is Parker Kaiser. He's got a half a second on the competition. He leads the way in the junior ski 10-15. Haynes and Schilling up next. And for Kaiser, that 44-2 was great. I mean, it was perfect. It was efficient. You said that he was patient and aggressive, but for Haynes, he's got a lot riding on this race. He really wants to get it done, but he's got a challenger to his right, Caden Schilling.
Well, Caden's got a lot of pressure on him next to Maddox, both very fast young men right there. And this is really the future of the sport. It's great, to see that these young riders that are getting into the sport. It's like the motocross got the little program. Well, so does now jet skis. Working out Maddox Haynes out of Lake Havasu. It's a late entry. A lot of pressure coming across country, getting ready for this one right there, and a lot of time to think about going, oh crap, I just got invited to this huge event.
Yeah, I mean, the mental side's got to be difficult. Good jump out of the gate for both of them, but for Haynes, being a late entry, I think physically he's prepared. He skis all the time, but mentally, to know that you're a late entry, how do you prepare? Well, what you do is you open up like this. This is so far, I mean, this is a phenomenal run for Haynes.
Yeah, definitely. Haynes doing a real good job. As you can see, he's got just a little bit of lead right now. And I was talking to Maddox a little earlier, and he was talking, I've been preparing, riding up and down the Colorado River, getting used to that current. So he knows how to set it for that buoy. So he's going to get a little drift, because if the water's moving and you're moving, you got to time it just right on the upstream and the downstream.
Well, he's done that so far. Perfect through the slalom. How's the drag? He's back. He's got the pressure on the rear. He's wide open. Will it be enough to overtake Parker Kaiser with that 44.2? Not a bad run by Schilling, just a few seconds back. But the question is, do we have a new number one?
Oh, the triple nickel takes it.
Wow, 42.0. So we have a new leader at the top of the board. It's Maddox Haynes, but it ain't over. We got more racers coming up, including this one, Sadie Meir.
I'm joined by Sadie Meir, who races the junior 10-15 class. Sadie, you were out there earlier for qualifying, and now you're about to run your first round. What were you seeing out there on course?
It's a pretty tight course, but we got to stay as consistent as we can and feel comfortable and give it our all and hope for the best and have a great run.
Well, good luck on your run, Sadie.
And it is Sadie Meir on the starting line against Bob Finlinson. That 44.2 by Kaiser, that was such a high standard. It gets smoked with the 42-second lap time, so now the bar has been raised. Bob, Sadie, here's your chance to beat it.
Great to see the Finlinsons out here, part of that Syracuse Mafia, Syracuse, Indiana. And it's great to see Sadie also out here too, one of our young lady racers here. She's from Wisconsin. Great to see how they support the Pro Watercross Series and to be part of this junior ski program here with the Slalom Drags. I just love this program. Seeing these young kids does my heart good.
Yeah, well, they have a chance to compete and obviously bring that part of it out. They also get a chance to watch the Pro-Am Ski GP, which we'll see momentarily, and a pretty even start. We see a little bit of a look over right there early, but now it's time to lock in.
And you can see Sadie's on that Kawasaki 800 SXR, where Finlinson running on that Yamaha Superjet, both two strokes. That's what all the juniors run here. They're allowed no four strokes, which is the newer technology, which we'll see in the Pro-Am Ski GP a little bit later. But Finlinson, he's got a good jump out. But Sadie, she's holding right in there, not far off, about a buoy distance in between. So very close still, but it looks like Finlinson, if he stays smooth and upright, he's going to take this one.
Yeah, he's got the gap. He can handle this one-on-one victory. Is it enough to beat Maddox Haynes? Super fast time on the last run, and for the 99 machine, we're gonna get that answer right here, right now. And clean run, but I didn't see the tight aggression in the corners and that real fast drag at the end, so I don't think we're gonna get that 42 lap time.
No, I don't think so either. And I think he pretty much just kind of rested on his laurels, looked over, saw he had a lead right there, said, hey, I got this one. I don't want to have to try too hard here and make mistakes. So
there it is.
You can see both. He's still ran a 44, which is still respectable there. You know, on par with the other ones that we saw earlier. Kaiser's around that, but unfortunately, Maddox Haynes still hold on to it with the 42s.
It's time for Cooper Smith and Josh Simon. And for the start here, this is not traditional. This is a little different, right?
No, and you get a really good shot there when you saw it head on. You can see that they're using like a ski lift platforms. You'll see this a lot of time on private docks where you could actually put your boat out of the water. They have adapted this pontoon boat, and they just put it enough in there where there's a little resistance to hold them, just enough so when they see that green light, they can take off. And we're going to see if the local out of Tennessee, Smith, can make that happen there. And you can see Josh Simon on the outside. We got the 25 on the inside. The 125 is Simon on the outside. Simon out of Corona, California. Rides a lot on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona. But spent some time up there in Havasu at Body Beach doing it. And a great shot there of the 25 machine.
Went out to in right there, setting up the corners. Looks like he's behind quite a bit right now. Simon had a good first and second corner, so you see a little bit of the gap right there. It's not over till it's over, but I got a little soft spot for both these racers. I ran number 25 at one point in my career. I ran number 125 in my career, so I like them both. I don't care which one wins. I just want to see one of these 2.5s get it done.
Well, one's going to win for sure because only one will take the win here and move on. The question is, will it have a fast time on the clock? The elapsed time's what matters. Simon gets a look over to see where he's at. The 125, though, looks like he's going to take a convincing win on this one.
He'll have it in the one-on-one. What matters most is the time. We saw a bunch of racers in the 44.7s. Kaiser at the 44.2. Haynes at a 42.0. How about a 44.5 for Simon? And that may put him on the podium with a top 3 finish. Was pretty bunched up there in the 44s. It is Simon Jr. with the third. So it's Haynes, Kaiser, Simon, and look at Hill and Smith right behind him. That's a tight top 5.
Oh, definitely there. And you can see Weston Berry there and 9th, followed by Schilling, Smith, Mirror, Smith, Elders, and Rowe to finish it out.
He's the 2021 13-15 Ski Lights World Champion. That's Josh Simon. He's third on the day, and he is with Erica.
Josh, you said the first and last buoys would be crucial in scoring a good time, and you nailed them with ease. Where else were you able to find an advantage?
I got off the line pretty good on the start and just try to time the green light as good as I can and get as close to the buoys without hitting them, and I got that down. And had a great time. I want to thank Brian for putting on this event. Had a great time. And I want to thank TC Freeride for building the 3 fastest skis here. And I want to thank Parker Boat Co., my parents, for getting me out here. Pro Watercraft, Ignite Racing Fuels, Fly Racing, ODI, and Jet Trim.
And second on the day is Parker Kaiser. He put on an awesome charge, took the lead at one point, but wasn't able to hold on to that fastest time.
What do you feel your keys to success were on course?
I would just try to keep as much momentum through all the buoys as I could. Then through the back straightaway, I just try to get as low as I can so I go as fast as I can.
And with a last-minute invite, the winner in the junior ski 10-15, it's Maddox Haynes, and he's with Erica.
Maddox, you were a last-minute entry into this competition, scrambling to get here, but you said you had a hunch that you were going to win because you weren't going to let this opportunity pass you by. Just how good does it feel to stand on top of the podium here in Nashville?
It feels so good to stand on this podium. I'm super excited I got out here last minute. I'm really happy I got first. And I'd also like to thank all my sponsors that get me here. Is Jet Trim, TC Freeride, Grom USA, Naughty Shine, and Destination Hydration.
Well, congratulations to Maddox Haynes. He is the big winner in the junior ski 10-15. Great racing today by Kaiser and Simon and the rest of the field, but they all chased Maddox Haynes to the finish. He's your champion.
Java Peace. Find your coffee harmony at javapeace.com.
Meet the Trowbridges. Yeah, they ride. Mom, Dad, and their 2 boys. It's what makes dirt bikes unique. One of the few sports that the entire family can participate in, together. An all-inclusive family affair with the ability to create memories that last a lifetime. Living their fearless pursuit.
Welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee for the Fly Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith. Let's head down to Erica Allred with more on the Pro-Am Ski GP.
Two-time world champion and 6-time national champion Jimmy Wilson is going to give us a run-through of this Pro-Am Ski GP right here behind us. Jimmy, given this is the highest level class, how does this ski compare to other classes?
I mean, this ski is completely different. Honestly, most of the other classes, they use a lot of OEM-based stuff, you know, Yamaha or Kawasaki. Our skis in GP, I would say probably 90–95% all aftermarket. The only thing we actually use from the OEM base is we use a Kawasaki SXR 1500 motor, and then we take and put aftermarket pistons, aftermarket rods, cams, ECUs. The hull is a lightweight composite hull from Commander Industries. You know, the pump in the back's made from Scat Track. Everything about it is to go fast and win.
So with that, what are some alterations riders are making for this specific event?
This weekend, everyone will be a little more aggressive. I think people are going to be shortening the handle pulls, going to be putting a couple more hull extensions on because we really want the nose to settle. If the nose is down in the water all the time, it makes it easier to enter the turn, where if it's up, the ski's going to kind of bounce a little bit and your nose, you might blow past the turn. So I think everyone's going to be setting up their skis a little bit more aggressive this weekend. Just the water conditions are super flat. It's a really tight course. So I think everyone's going to go a little more aggressive this weekend.
There you have it with Jimmy Wilson on this Pro-Am Ski GP watercraft.
Well, coming up first, we've got Cole Kramer and David Cabrera. You got the Ronnie Prado Company Red Lane and the Performance Excavating Yellow Lane. This is going to be a good fight.
Oh, definitely. The Red Lane there, you can see Cole Kramer, a former world champion, and one of the young riders out there compared to David Cabrera, who is one of our veteran racers out there from Miramar, Florida. Cabrera Motorsports.
Now for Kramer, he had a lot of speed in his qualifying run, but he was bad off the gate. Both starts were a little off, so we'll see if he improves that here in the race that counts. It's Kramer versus Cabrera. They're off, and not a bad start for either.
Yeah, that's for sure there. And this is where we're going to talk about the skis that have gone to the 4-strokes. These are the GP1 Commander boats here, and you can see how fast they are. They sound angry. They sound pissed off is what I like to say.
And look how tight they are right now. I don't think they know this, but this one is on. That drag is going to be so important. Can they get through the final piece of the slalom? And it looks like Kramer's going to have the edge before the drag, and he might have enough.
And we can see Kramer gets out into the center section drag races, and Kramer just keeps the throttle down there. Cabrera comes across second, and you can see with these 4-cylinder, 4-stroke machines, the power, the speed, they are insanely fast. Oh no, Kramer with a DQ, what's going on?
It sounds like a buoy. I think we hit a buoy. And that's a bummer because that was a great run, but he is DQ'd. Cabrera's going to take this one. Tough break for Cole Kramer, and the 39.0 by David Cabrera is now the time to beat. Jonathan McCreary, Devin Farthing. It's going to be another good one. Tell me about Devin Farthing.
Oh man, talk about legendary family of racers. Dev Dog, a.k.a. Devin Farthing, the son of Dustin Farthing, a.k.a. King D. Multi with over 18 world titles in the pro category. And this acorn did not roll far from the tree. You can see a good jump there by Devin for sure. He's on the orange course, and you can see it's a close one. Both these riders on GP1 Commander boats, and are definitely hauling the mail for sure.
Now for Farthing, he had a crash in his first qualifying run today, but came back and crushed the second run. Great times, a lot of speed, so obviously an athlete who can recover.
Well, it's all about shaking it off, as you well know. You get a mistake, you just can't get it in your head, because otherwise it'll just eat you alive when you think about it. And you can see right now, he shook that one off, because that's a win, baby. Put that in the W category.
Yeah, he has moved on from the mistakes this morning. He's going to cruise this one in. He beats McCreary. The question is, does he beat Cabrera's 39.0? And it looks like having a little fun right there on the exit. 36.6, so he sets the standard. I mean, we're talking 2.5 seconds faster. Good run by McCreary there to get into the 39s, but Farthing now with that 36.6. That is the time to beat. As we move on to the rest of the field, and yeah, he was just efficient from start to finish.
And you can really see his style right there. You can see he's switching feet. He's got the left foot forward on the left turns, on the right turn, the right foot forward. The rear end goes off the side of the boat to kind of counterbalance, keep that boat flat and hooked up.
And that run will put the pressure on this young man, Coy Curtis.
So this ski, it has a bigger motor in it. I love the skis. I just love how they handle and how fast they are, and I love racing this class. Yeah, I do get nervous racing people that are older than me, but I definitely think that it'll help me because I'm lighter and it'll make me more nimble around the track. Between the championships, I've been growing and I've just been getting better. And I think this race, I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll help me. I'm just gonna give it my all and just gonna try my best. I'm here for fun. And yeah, it should be a good race. I'm just trying to have fun,
Dave, you know what's fun? Winning. But that's going to be a challenge because Jules Hopkins is ready to go. I think we're in for a tight fight here.
Yeah, Jules definitely has got a fast boat there. He's done well on the Pro Watercross Tour. Just going to keep an eye on him. But Coy, a young phenom. He's also a freestyler. The kid won, like 7 world titles last year from the juniors to the amateurs. This kid's really fast. He's got Taylor Curtis, one of the OG surf riders, and he knows how to make these boats hook up for sure. And these GP1s are fast, but Jules, a little bit older, a little bit more calmer, a little bit smoother, where I think Coy tries to really muscle that boat because he doesn't have the weight to hold it down. He's going to force it. You can see him whip it.
Yeah, and he got a good start there. So for Coy Curtis, 13 years old, you told me in qualifying he's aggressive. He is not afraid. That goes into his riding style and his temperament, but he's got a challenge right now with Hopkins, but this is a tight race.
Well, the kid lives in Lake Havasu. He rides at Body Beach, I think, almost every single day. He loves it. And it shows right there. But Jules got a good lead here.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Jules Hopkins. Man, he really put it in there fast. Now, I did talk to Taylor. He said you can see that boat kind of bouncing on Coy. He said that boat's been set up for pretty much close course, so that nose wanted to put more nose pressure down there, where Jules found that happy median. So
yeah,
Hopkins, man, 34 seconds.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
34.6. I mean, way to set the bar. I mean, look at Curtis's time though, 36.2. I mean, he's right in the running, right in that lead group, but Hopkins has it so far. He is now your leader in the Pro-Am Ski GP. And look at that replay. He gets back, he gets wild. You can see Curtis there, bouncing around a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a ski issue, a setup issue for him today?
Yeah, I think it was setup.
Well, he still gets a 36.2. He's running second right now, but it's Jules Hopkins who leads the way. More racing from Nashville.
My passion for watercraft racing came in 1994 when the Holy Spirit got a hold of my heart. And we've pretty much been involved ever since. And over the years, we've ministered on X Games and Dew Tour, and Supercross, Arena Cross, GNCC racing, freestyle motocross. And we've won races and championships even in some of those sports, and of course accomplished a lot of goals and received a lot of accolades. But for us, ultimately it's about Jesus. We just want to show the love of Jesus in a tangible way with no strings attached. To keep up with Team Faith, be sure and like us on Facebook, follow us on our Instagram page, and like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith. I'm Daniel Blair. I'm joined by Dave Arnold and Erica Allreed. And here's Erica with Jules Hopkins.
Jules, that was an incredibly dominant run. What did it take to knock out such a big name like Coy Curtis?
Just to motivate myself all day. We went back to the tent, just retuned it, got my mind in the right space, and just timed the lights perfectly, and just go out there with an attitude that don't think, just ride as hard as you can, because it's win or go home at this point.
Well, I think Jules said it best, is go back and just clear your head, because you can't overthink things, because that will eat you alive. And I like the fact that he did a little retuning to your ski. He knew what he needed to make it happen. He did. That's the way you do it.
And it paid off, and he is now the leader. Here's Jimmy Wilson and Rylan Webster. This is going to be a battle, too. 34.6, that's what they're chasing. And this should be a good one. Now that these athletes are starting to see the times, they're understanding, they're watching their competition, I have to imagine they're making improvements at least methodically in their mind before the light even turns green, and here we go.
And there's Wilson on the red course there, the 300 machine out of North Carolina. A firefighter by trade, one of our first responders, and one heck of a rider at national championships in the past there. And then Webster, he's part of that Commander Industry family, but it's going to be Wilson. I think it's going to be the experience of Wilson. And I'll tell you, he looks so smooth. Webster, though, can't take it away from him. That young man is quick, but it's Wilson. He gets a look over, and he's going to take this one here, Daniel.
Yeah, he knows he has it right there. He looks over, and now it's just about that drag. Can he beat that 34.6 by Jules Hopkins? That was a really clean run. 35.5, that's so close. He's going to look at the score chart and say, man, if I could have done this corner a little better, maybe this corner better, I could have had it, but still a good run by Jimmy Wilson.
I really like how they have that reaction time. You can see how fast it is from that tree dropping down there. So very cool. We can take a look right now at Wilson, and look how smooth. You can see him switching the feet there, keeping that knee forward as he points at the buoy, but he doesn't hit that buoy. That's what it's all about.
And he is in podium position right now, but the competition is waiting in the wings. Here is Sebastian Garello with Erica.
Sebastian, you set a pretty fast qualifying time. What do you think the key to mastering this slalom course here is today?
Sometimes slower is faster. You just got to be really smooth on this course. You can't really just go really fast because the current is a little squirrely with the ski. But yeah, like I said, you just really got to stay consistent on this track and be smooth, think, and look ahead.
And how are you dealing with this unpredictable current?
I mean, I'm always prepared. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You know, like I tried getting the ski on the bunks, and the current was just so strong right there, but when you're on the track, you can't really feel it. It is getting quicker and slower sometimes, but honestly, you just got to deal with it.
All right, guys, watch out for the number 27.
The number 27 is on the line going up against Isaiah Washington. This should be a good fight. Washington out of Florida. Had some decent times in qualifying. Ran it a little in to out in his corners, but I'm sure he'll improve it for this race. He's going up against Sebastian Garello. He's out of Havasu City, and another young athlete coming through the field.
Well, I don't want to take any away from any one of these kids because they're both fast. I've seen them compete against each other for years. But Garello, a multi-time world champion. Washington also right there with them. And you can see how fast these kids on those Commander GP1 boats. Garello with just a slight lead there, but no, look at this. Washington starting to catch up, and I think it's going to be close here.
Yeah, it's tightened up in the second half of the slalom. Now we'll set up to that last corner before the drag. Of course, they're chasing 34.6 by Jules Hopkins. That's the fastest, and we got ourselves a drag.
And it looks like Washington was able to pull ahead. Garello, oh my goodness, it's going to be Washington.
Yeah, late race charge gets it done. He beats Garello to the finish line, but we've got another DQ. Looks like Washington hit a buoy, and he is out, so Garello wins the race with a 38.3.
Oh, wow, what a mind blower. That was such a close one, too, but I'll tell you, this was just a wild one. You hit one buoy and you're out. You can see how that happens.
Yeah, just like that. It was a great run, too. Maybe a little overly aggressive, a little too tight in the corner. It's going to cost him. Camden Powell out of Syracuse, Indiana, coming up next. Going up against Reese Geis, making her debut in the Pro-Am division.
Oh, yeah, I've watched Reese grow up in the sport from that, as well as Powell, too. You know, part of that Syracuse Mafia, also from Syracuse, Indiana. They always represent well for sure, but Reese, she has been racing with the boys and kicking some butt in Southern California and the West Coast there in Arizona too, and she's out here now to compete the Pro Watercross as well as the Slalom Drags, and we get to see how this young lady's going to compete here on her Commander GP1, and you can see how beautiful those boats are. And a great launch.
Yeah, good start by both, and for Reese, she had a good qualifying run. Remember, had to qualify to get into the top 16, so she's already got a big achievement on the day, but she wants some more. It's going to be a tough run against Camden Powell.
Well, you can see Camden Powell looking very smooth there. He's keeping the throttle. He's keeping it rolled on. He's not like letting off and then gassing it, not squaring the turns off. And that's the key of being smooth here. You got to have that throttle control, which in any racing, throttle control is key.
You know what else is key? Not jumping the start, which Camden Powell did during qualifying, but he didn't do it when it mattered. He's going to get the win here. The question is, was it fast enough to beat Jules Hopkins in that 34.6?
And that's going to be a tough one, because I'll tell you, Hopkins' time was sick. Yeah. And there it is, 36.6. Powell takes the win, but he comes 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds pretty much from Hopkins.
Yeah, puts him right around the third place range with Devin Farley, but not quick enough to get Hopkins. But still a good run by both. Great execution, just wasn't able to keep it as tight in those corners. 1/10 of a second here, 1/10 of a second there. Dave, that adds up.
Oh, it adds up all over the whole track. You take it into account there.
We've got 6 races, 2 to go in Nashville. Don't go anywhere.
Meet the Trowbridges. Yeah, they ride. Mom, Dad, and their 2 boys. It's what makes dirt bikes unique. One of the few sports that the entire family can participate in, together. An all-inclusive family affair with the ability to create memories that last a lifetime. Living their fearless pursuit.
Java Peace. Find your coffee harmony at javapeace.com.
Fly Racing Slalom Drags is brought to you by Java Peace Coffee. Find your harmony at javapeace.com. And Huracan R, World Championship winning Sport GP race watercraft. Hydro Turf, and of course by Team Faith Ministries. Two races to go in the Fly Racing Pro Watercross Slalom Drags presented by Team Faith. We're in Nashville, Tennessee. Take a look at the Commander Industries standings. And right now it's Jules Hopkins on top with that 34.6. Jimmy Wilson's time was great too. Look how tight they are. Farthing and Powell on that podium position. But two races could change that. Revan Harris, Zeke Kime, Ryder Wildeboer, Matthew Ritchik, four of our fastest qualifiers coming up next. And here's Harris. He was #1 in qualifying.
Yeah, Revan has always been quick, a very fast competitor and close course racing for sure. But it's going to be interesting when it comes down to this because, you know, it's a whole new ball game out here. Slalom Drags, a new, machine, a new animal, I'm going to say. There's Zeke Kime. Derek Kime is out of Syracuse, Indiana, another fast young rider up and coming. So two young guns going head to head here. It's anyone's game. You know, Revan Harris, though, I'll tell you, that kid's always been quick, and he's had the fastest qualifying time, so let's see what's going to happen here.
There's a start. Harris looks to his left. He knows he's got a little bit of space, and now he goes to work. And during qualifying, you had me watch him real close. You said he's efficient, he's smart, he's calculated, he's super quick, but he does it by keeping things clean and smooth.
And smooth is the key when it comes to this. You can see is, getting close to that buoy, and you're getting that correct apex set. So you don't want to hit the buoy, but you got to hit it and set up for each consistent, consecutive buoy.
Now we knew he had a chance to win this event. He was the fastest in qualifying. Both of his times were. He's going to lean back, cross the finish line. Nice run. Is it enough to pass Jules Hopkins? Remember that 34.6 is the time to beat. Oh, and a 35. Oh, that's close, but he's a little bit off the leader. So right now he sits #2.
Man, these things are hitting close to 70 miles an hour, sometimes 71, and you can see the speed. But this is what I talked about. Look how calm, smooth, collected he is.
Like how his head is forward, too.
Yep, that's what it's about.
Well, he's #2 right now. Hopkins is sitting on the sideline.
Biting his nails off,
he is. He thinks he's got it. He's got to beat two more. Ryder Wildeboer, Matthew Ritchik, both were fast in qualifying as well, and they've had a chance to see the competition and really study this course. The question is, can they put that to work now, beat Hopkins, take the #1 spot, and win the Pro-Am Ski GP?
Well, I know that right now Ryder Wildeboer, probably a heavy favorite going this. Young man's won the Thai Cup, the King's Cup over in Thailand too long ago. But Matthew Ritchik is so fast. Lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. Talk about two great places to ride and live. West Palm Beach, Florida, or Lake Havasu.
Yeah,
I'm sure one gets a little humid and hot, and the other one's just blazing hot like an oven.
I think you're good either way. For them,
So
they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Either way, hey, they're in the water.
They're in the water.
And they're in the water now. Here's the race, the final one of the day. Can anyone beat Jules Hopkins? Wildeboer, Ritchik, here's your shot at it.
Ritchik on his Commander GP1s, but the interesting thing is that is a Kawasaki hull, which you're not seeing a lot of them. They run Kawasaki motors in these GP1s, but it's the hull design's a little bit different, a little bit heavier ski. He's making it look quick, but Ritchik, though, he is definitely fast on that GP1 for sure, and it looks like he's going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, out of the Ronnie Prado Company, red lane versus the Performance Excavating yellow lane. The red lane's going to get it. But like we've asked all day, was it fast enough to be #1? 34.4. He squeaks by, steals it from Hopkins. The last race of the day, this man is #1.
And he's only one of the two that made it into the 34, so that's just so insane. Everybody else 35, 36, but watching how quick he was. You can see a little bit of hop by Ryder Wildeboer when he comes out there. Ryder gets a little on the gas and comes out of the water, but it's going to be Ritchik with the final victory with that mistake by Wildeboer.
Commander Industries results shows Ritchik, Hopkins, Harris, 1, 2, 3, followed by Wilson and Farthing, rounding out the top 5. Now for Revan Harris, he was your fastest qualifier, had a great run today. He's going to get on the podium, solid racing. Would have loved to have gotten that victory, but hey, at the end of the day, he gets to talk to Erica Allred.
Revan, what part of the course do you feel like you were able to find an advantage on today?
I'm not sure. I was able to go first, so that was kind of a little Scary, but also it turned out good. I was the fastest qualifier of the day, and then turned that into a 3rd place in the main.
Jules Hopkins had the fastest time going for quite some time. Lost at the very end, but hey, 2nd place on the day, not bad. He's with Erica.
Jules, you had such a tight battle. What was going through your mind as you approached that back drag?
As soon as we took off the dock, I just shut everything out and focused on my race. But after about the 3rd buoy in, out the corner of my eye, I could see Coy, and we were still equal. So again, I just shut it out, just focused on my lines. And when we made it to the turnaround buoy, I looked over my shoulder, and I saw I had a good about 3 boat lengths. So I said, just don't let off. Just don't think about it. Don't let off. Just go for it.
And the final run of the day, the final racer on the course, Matthew Richett, grabs the fastest time, grabs the win. He's the champ in Nashville.
Matthew, you can now call yourself the first ever Pro-Am Ski GP Slalom Drags champion. Tell me, why do you feel this never-seen-before course fit your riding style so well?
For me, being a kid and growing up, I always enjoyed being in a tight area, being in a tight slalom, so I enjoyed going into those hard and quick transactions. So I think as far as that, being with STB Racing and their powerful motor and how we focused on the acceleration from the beginning and the low end, having that advantage of loving the tight and with the motor, that was a big advantage, especially for slalom racing.
Congratulations to Matthew Richett. Hey, we saw the Pro-Am Ski GP. We saw the Junior Ski 10 to 15. All new format, all new style of racing. Your thoughts?
I like it 'cause it's quick, it's technical, and it's exciting. You make one mistake, you're out, you move on. The program moves so fast. I can't wait to see the future of slalom drags.
Future, the junior skis, they were fun to watch.
Well, I can't wait to see these kids who are going to be the top pros one day to make it all happen here at the Slalom Drags. So coming to a city near you, hopefully.
That's right. Log on to slalomdrag.com for more information to catch these athletes. We'll see them again. For Dave Arnold, Erica Allreed, I'm Daniel Blair. We'll catch you next time on the water.